My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need! And I hope you enjoy the video.
Your death won't come easily.
We like a little over a week away until Sekiro Shadows Die Twice dropped. Or in our case, Sekiro Shadows Die a hell of a lot of times because I'm sure this game is going to make a lot of people rage, man. You know, but I'm really looking forward to this game. I think this game drops on March 22nd, you know, so yeah, like a little over a week away until this game drops. This is one of my most anticipated games for this year. Really looking forward to this game. I was interested in this game the moment it was teased, you know, from software. I think it was like at the Game Awards in 2017 or something like that. We all thought it was going to be Bloodborne 2. And, I mean, I would have preferred Bloodborne 2, you know, because I really enjoyed Bloodborne, but it ended up being, you know, a new game. A lot of people have been saying so far this year has kind of been dry in terms of, like, you know, like, great games. I'm thinking, like, so we only in March, like, these suckers is talking like we in, like, July, August, October. I'm like, sucker, the year just started, but at the same time, it's like, bro, we in 2019, and it's like we're ending like the end cycle of these consoles. It's not like we're in the second, third year of these consoles. Like we're nearing the end phase of these consoles. So at the same time, I get it. I've been watching a lot of videos and reading like a lot of articles about this game. Just kind of trying to like mentally prepare myself for the L's I know that I'm going to take in this game. Been trying to get back into, you know, just playing like Souls games and stuff like that, because I am not the best Souls game. My first Souls experience was with Bloodborne, you know, and I enjoyed the freak out of Bloodborne, you know, but after I beat that, you know, and played some of the DLC, still ain't beat Lawrence. He's like the last boss I haven't beaten in the DLC. These games aren't meant for everyone. Like, some people, they don't like playing these they don't like playing these games at all because they like to enjoy their time while gaming. They don't want to be breaking controllers and TVs and raging and getting high blood pressure from playing these types of games. All these interviews that I'm reading, you know, from the people working on this game, they're saying that this is not your traditional Souls game. Like, this has different aspects about it. And as I'm watching gameplay of this junk, I'm like, oh yeah, this junk is going to be completely different. Again, if you play Dark Souls and Bloodborne, you do notice the difference between those two. I feel like Dark Souls, you have to rely way more on defense. Like, it's defense first, then offense. Compared to Bloodborne, it kind of feels like offense first, then defense. Bloodborne feels a lot. I mean, well, not a lot, but Bloodborne feels a little more faster paced than Dark Souls. Like, Dark Souls feels like you kind of have to be like, like, you just feel like you really have to take your time in Souls games. I think that's why a lot of people don't really like Souls games, because you kind of do sometimes have to be patient if you want to be successful in these games. But I'm watching Sekiro, and this junk looks really fast paced. So let me get into some of the mechanics that and I just found this junk out yesterday. I'm like, what? I didn't even I didn't even know about this junk. There's no stamina meter in Sekiro?
It's worth emphasizing just how different this system makes the fights feel from anything else From Software has ever done. Basically, instead of having a traditional stamina meter, Sekiro allows you to attack, jump, and roll as much as you like. This facilitates an extremely fast and relentless pace to the action.
There's no stamina meter in this game. And if you've played Souls games, the stamina meter is a huge thing. You have to conserve your stamina when you're fighting the enemies, especially when you're fighting the bosses. You're supposed to dodge when you have to, and if you're attacked, that also kind of depletes that meter. So you always have to kind of be conserving that meter as you're trying to fight whoever you're fighting. I didn't even know that. So that tells me, you know what that tells me? That tells me this game is going to be fast-paced as freak, and that's going to be a problem for me, because just in case you guys don't know, pretty much all of the bosses, from my, time playing mainly Bloodborne, but even Dark Souls, all of the enemies, and especially bosses that have gave me the most problems, have all been the aggressive ones. Now, you can look at it in one of two ways. Like, oh, okay, cool. I don't have to look at that meter no more, and I can just be like, and just go in. Or you can look at it like, okay, there's no stamina. What type of enemies are we going to be going against in this game? Because, my God, no stamina in this junk is going to be a huge shift in what we've become accustomed to from these types of games. The grapple hook, I'm sure we've all seen that, part about the game, how you can use, I don't know if it's a grapple hook, or if it's like a prosthetic arm that is like actually that turns into a hook, whatever. But I'm sure like when you see the trailers for this game and like the gameplay, that's like the main thing that like stands out. How you can use that how you can use that grapple hook or prosthetic arm, whatever, to like traverse throughout this game. So I'm thinking like, how is that going to play like a role, especially in combat? Like if things are getting too hectic, if you're getting rushed down by like a mob of freaking creatures, whatever, can you like use that to be like, I'm out, and just like get out of combat to just take a breather and be like, okay, hold up, so so this is bum rushing me way too hard. They got stealth aspects to this junk. I'm sure we've all seen how he uses like the grapple arm, whatever, and then like there'll be creatures down below, and it's like he's trying to get a good vantage point on them, and then you can like jump down and like take them down while you're like stalking them and stuff like that. You can hide in bushes. I didn't even know that. Like you could hide in bushes while like trying to get a good position before you decide to make your move. You got like smoke bombs to where you can like use smoke to like blind the enemy. Like it was like like there's if you like really start watching gameplay. Of course, again, this is going to be a hard game. Like make no mistake about it, especially if they're saying in some ways this is going to be the hardest Souls game ever. So just because we got like all these different tools to use to our advantage, best believe like the enemies are going to have some new tools to their advantage. So I don't think it's going to be one of those things where it's like they're giving us more tools to use to like not make it as hard. You can't even upgrade your stats. You see, You see that sword that it has been in every gameplay? Apparently, you can't change that sword. You start the game off with that sword. You end the game off with that sword. You can't change weapons. But did you hear what I said before? There are no upgradable stats in this game.
Perhaps the biggest departure, though, is the fact that Sekiro has no customizable stats. No character classes, no souls or blood echoes, no crafting mechanics, and the sword you use at the start is the sword that you'll be using throughout the rest of the game.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
You know how people love to farm in these Souls games, and some people legit will not even progress through the game. They will find a good farm spot and they will stay in that spot for however long they choose to and just rack up on, you know, souls, blood, echoes, whatever, and then just rank up and just try to, you know, build their self up so as they progress through the game, it's not as hard. The whole farming aspect is a huge, you know, part of these types of games. The fact that you can't upgrade your stats, apparently there's no like levels in this game. There's XP. So as you're fighting, you know, the different creatures, whatever, you can get XP, but there's skill trees. So like in like a game like Spider-Man, for instance, to where there's skill trees and like you use the XP you unlock to unlock different moves to take out, you know, guys quicker and, you know, in different ways. It's stuff like that that's in Sekiro. You use that XP, and apparently there's a skill tree, and there's 3 different classes, I think they said, in the skill tree, and you unlock different moves in that skill tree. One of the moves was, you know, that whole red smoke bomb thing, to where like you throw out a smoke bomb if you're getting surrounded, you know, by different creatures, and you use that like smoke bomb to like blind them, and then you can like kind of, you know, like reapproach that situation while they're blinded from you. So that's going to be another thing that is like completely different from what people have become accustomed to in these Souls types games. So I just told you, we all know about the grapple hook or the grapple arm, whatever. I don't really know what that joke is going to be. We all know about that. There's a jump button in this game. Just the way you traverse throughout this game has never been done in a Souls game before. There's no stamina meter. If you've never played a Souls game, I don't think you realize how big that is. There's no stamina meter in this game, apparently. The whole stealth aspect, you can't change your weapon. You start the weapon off with that sword, you end it off with that sword. You can't upgrade your stats. There's no levels. There's just skill trees to unlock different moves. This junk is not a Souls game. It's going to be hard, but just because it's hard don't mean it's a Souls. It doesn't mean, like, I feel like this is going to be a completely different take, you know, on what people have become accustomed to from when you play a From Software game. There are 2 things I'm worried about in this game. 2 things. Alright, the first thing is, how fast-paced is this game? How fast-paced is this game going to be? The second thing I'm worried about, which is really the main thing, Activision is the Activision is the publisher of this game. Now, apparently, you know, they ain't really going to get in the way. They just gonna let From Software do what they do. But nah, sucker. Every time Activision is connected to any game, I got worries, okay? I think this is going to be one of the best games that come out this year. One of the last few great games we get, you know, in this era of, you know, of PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, whatever. I'm sure suckers is gonna be raging in this game. Can't wait to see it. And yeah, man, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Will you be getting it? Let me know down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys in my next one, alright? Peace.